The boxing world is buzzing once again, and this time the spotlight is on three of the sport's biggest names, Robert Garcia, Jaron Ennis, and Vergil Ortiz Jr. As fans continue debating who truly belongs at the top of boxing's elite, one thing has become clear: there are no easy fights left. Robert Garcia has long been one of boxing's most respected trainers. Having worked with world champions across multiple weight classes, Garcia understands what it takes to compete at the highest level. Whenever he offers his opinion on a potential matchup, boxing fans pay attention because his experience inside the sport gives his words extra weight. Recently, discussions surrounding a possible showdown between Jaron Ennis and Vergil Ortiz Jr. have intensified. While no official fight has been announced, fans and analysts continue comparing the styles of these two undefeated stars. Many believe it would be one of the most explosive fights boxing could make today. Jaron Ennis has built a reputation as one of the most gifted fighters in the sport. His speed, footwork, timing, and ability to switch stances make him one of the hardest opponents to prepare for. Ennis has defeated quality opposition and has consistently demonstrated that he can adapt during a fight. Whether he's boxing from the outside or trading punches on the inside, has shown a complete skill set that many believe is championship level. On the other side stands Vergil Ortiz Jr., a fighter known for relentless pressure and incredible punching power. Ortiz has earned a reputation for breaking opponents down with intelligent aggression rather than simply chasing knockouts. His body attack, jab, and willingness to exchange punches have made him one of boxing's most exciting fighters to watch. This stylistic contrast is exactly why fans can't stop talking about the matchup. One fighter relies on speed, athleticism, and versatility. The other thrives on pressure, physical strength, and constant offense. Whenever styles like these collide, fireworks usually follow. Supporters of Vergil Ortiz argue that his pressure would eventually force Ennis into uncomfortable exchanges. They believe Ortiz's relentless attack could wear down even the slickest boxer over 12 rounds. Every punch thrown to the body could slow Ennis's movement, creating opportunities for Ortiz to land his powerful combinations upstairs. Meanwhile, Ennis supporters see things differently. They point to his superior athleticism, defensive awareness, and ability to create angles. They believe has the footwork necessary to avoid sustained pressure while landing cleaner punches throughout the fight. Many argue that Ennis has enough power to earn Ortiz's respect early, preventing him from simply walking forward. Robert Garcia has previously praised both fighters during various interviews, recognizing their talent and championship potential. Like many experienced trainers, Garcia has emphasized that elite fighters cannot overlook dangerous opponents. At the highest level of boxing, one mistake can completely change the outcome of a fight. That idea is particularly important in today's competitive landscape. Every champion is searching for legacy-defining victories. Fans no longer want to see easy tune-up fights between major events. Instead, they want the biggest names facing each other while they're still in their prime. If Ennis and Ortiz eventually meet inside the ring, preparation will be everything. Training camp could determine the winner before the opening bell even rings. Conditioning, strategy, sparring partners, and the ability to adjust under pressure will all play major roles. For Vergil Ortiz, cutting off the ring would likely be a top priority. Allowing Ennis too much space would play directly into strengths. Ortiz would need to pressure intelligently without becoming reckless, constantly attacking both the body and head while limiting Ennis's opportunities to counter. For Jaron Ennis, movement and timing would be essential. He would likely aim to control distance, use quick combinations, and avoid standing still for extended exchanges. His ability to switch stances could also force Ortiz to make constant adjustments throughout the contest. Another major factor would be defense. Both fighters possess enough offensive ability to end a fight with one perfectly timed punch. That means defensive discipline could become just as important as offensive success. The fighter who makes fewer mistakes may ultimately have his hand raised. The mental battle would also be fascinating. Championship fights often become chess matches where confidence, patience, and composure separate good fighters from great ones. Neither Ennis nor Ortiz has shown a tendency to panic under pressure, making this potential matchup even more intriguing. The boxing community remains divided over who would win. Some experts favor Ennis because of his speed and versatility. Others believe Ortiz's pressure and power would eventually overwhelm almost anyone in the division. That's exactly what makes this fight so compelling. There is no overwhelming favorite. Until contracts are signed, everything remains speculation. Boxing fans can continue debating the matchup, but only the fighters themselves can settle the question inside the ring. If promoters are able to make the fight happen, it could become one of the biggest boxing events of the year. Regardless of who wins, a battle between Jaron Ennis and Vergil Ortiz Jr. would represent exactly what fans have been asking for: two elite, undefeated fighters willing to risk everything in pursuit of greatness. Those are the kinds of matchups that define careers, create unforgettable moments, and leave a lasting mark on boxing history. What do you think? If this blockbuster fight becomes reality, who walks away victorious? Does Jaron Ennis outbox Vergil Ortiz with his speed and skill, or does Vergil Ortiz break him down with relentless pressure and power? Share your prediction in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more boxing news, fight analysis, and exclusive updates. But there's another side to this discussion that deserves attention. Whenever elite fighters are matched against one another on paper, fans often focus only on strengths. The real question, however, is who can expose the other's weaknesses. For Jaron Ennis, one of the biggest challenges would be dealing with non-stop pressure for every second of every round. It's one thing to dominate opponents who hesitate or fight cautiously. It's something completely different when a fighter keeps walking forward, cuts off the ring, and refuses to give you a moment to breathe. Vergil Ortiz has built his reputation on exactly that kind of relentless style. Ortiz doesn't simply throw punches to impress the judges. Every combination is designed to wear an opponent down physically and mentally. He invests heavily in body shots early because he knows the payoff usually comes in the later rounds. As fatigue begins to set in, openings appear, and that's when Ortiz becomes even more dangerous. At the same time, Ennis is far from an ordinary boxer. His greatest weapon may actually be his adaptability. Throughout his career, he's shown the ability to switch strategies in the middle of a fight. If boxing from long range isn't working, he'll fight on the inside. If opponents try to pressure him, he'll counter with sharp combinations and angles that are difficult to predict. That's why so many experts call this a true 50-50 matchup. Some believe Ortiz's pressure would eventually overwhelm Ennis. Others argue that Boots' movement, timing, and ring IQ would frustrate Ortiz over 12 rounds. Neither opinion is unreasonable because both fighters possess world-class skills. Another important factor is experience against elite opposition. Every championship-level fight teaches valuable lessons that can't be learned in the gym. The ability to stay calm after taking a big punch, making adjustments between rounds, and executing a game plan under intense pressure separates champions from contenders. If this fight happens, both corners will have enormous responsibilities. Trainers won't simply be giving motivational speeches. Every minute between rounds could completely change the direction of the contest. One tactical adjustment, changing distance, increasing body attacks, or altering defensive movement, could shift momentum instantly. Physical conditioning could become another deciding factor. A fast-paced fight between Ennis and Ortiz would demand incredible stamina. 12 championship rounds against an elite opponent leave no room for poor preparation. Every sprint, every sparring session, and every conditioning drill during training camp could matter once the fight enters the championship rounds. Fans also shouldn't underestimate the psychological battle. Big fights create enormous pressure long before the opening bell. Media attention, fan expectations, prediction videos, and constant social media debates can affect even the most experienced athletes. The fighter who remains focused despite all the noise often gains a major advantage before stepping into the ring. Legacy is another reason this matchup generates so much excitement. Neither Ennis nor Ortiz wants to be remembered as a talented fighter who avoided the toughest challenges. Great fighters build their reputations by defeating